One of the things advisors need to do is market analysis, and there are plenty of ways of doing so. Now I want to talk about the quantitative analysis, and I'm going to take as a subject my favorite type of works, erotic artworks. As some of you may know, I am also an art historian, and most of my research is based on this theme. Imagine I am advising a collector, a Mexican collector, and he or she wants to collect also erotic artworks. Before taking the collector to Zona MACO, which is one of the biggest art fairs in Latin America, which happens every year in the month of February.
So for those of you who haven't been to Mexico City and who haven't been to Zona MACO, this is a small clip of the fair of the 2022 edition, since I wasn't able to attend the edition of 2023.
I must know if the fair has something to offer my collector, right? So that is why I need to know what galleries are showing at the fair, so I can have an idea, or even if it's a good idea, to take my collector to the fair. So let's start talking about the quantitative analysis in this case, to try to answer the question, how many galleries presented erotic artworks in Zona MACO this year? Sure. Zona MACO has been around for over 20 years, and they have different sections. They have the contemporary art section, modern art, photography, antiquities, design, and even the contemporary section is divided in other sections. For example, the main section, Zona MACO Ejes, and Zona MACO Sur. More than 50,000 visitors attend the fair each year, so it's a lot, it's quite big. And out of the 200 galleries that were part of this edition, it was 51% national galleries and 49% international galleries. But for this process, for this study, I did not analyze the modern art section. I focused only on the contemporary art section, which, like I mentioned before, it's composed by the main section, Zona MACO Ejes, and Zona MACO Sur. And I also took into consideration the photography section. So after analyzing 36 Mexican galleries and 98 international galleries, this is what I found. But let's talk about Mexico first. Out of the 36 galleries that I analyzed, only 5 presented works that we can consider to be erotic. But before I continue, I just want to mention that since erotic works are often related also to the questions about LGBTQ+, I also took into consideration this aspect, so I can share these numbers with you as well. However, let's go back to the erotic works. So it was only 14% of the galleries, of the Mexican galleries, presented erotic works.
This is just a small graph to have a visual representation of these numbers.
And the number is even smaller when we think about Mexican galleries that presented works related to the LGBTQ+ community, with only 8.3%. So now for the international galleries, this is what I found. So out of the 98 galleries I analyzed, only 12 presented erotic works, which is around 12.24% of all the international galleries.
Here are the numbers, the percentages for the international galleries.
And the number, again, it's even smaller when we talk about the LGBTQ+ artworks presented in the international galleries, with only 8%. So if we combine both the Mexican galleries and the international galleries, so of a total of 134 galleries, this is the percentage.
We can see that we have very low numbers to these two categories at Zona MACO.
So for erotic works, it was only 12.6%, and for the LGBTQ+, it was only 8.1%. So as you can see from the numbers, there weren't so many options for my client at Zona MACO this year. Well, this analysis allowed me to discover some interesting insights. I decided to go a little bit deeper with this investigation, with this study, and I found I was able to trace which countries present more erotic works or works related to the LGBTQ+ community. So this is what I found.
So we can see that Mexico was the leading country, presenting 6 artists, 2 in the category of only erotic, 2 in the category of only LGBTQ+, and 2 in the category of both, followed by USA presenting 5 artists, 2 related to erotic works, and 3 related to both aspects. followed by all the rest of the countries presenting only one artist, either in the category of only erotic or a combination of both, with the exception of Chile, which was an artist focused only on the LGBTQ plus theme.
And that is why we can see relatively speaking, high number of artists working with both contents, with both themes. Zona MACO was not very rich in erotic works this year, but there is something that we can do. The next step for me would be to advise my client, now that I know the name of the artist and the galleries who actually presented erotic works, then I can tell my client, hey, we should look at this artist and we should talk to these galleries. And then we can, of course, take a look at the specific artist, look at their CV, and then a whole other type of analysis has to be done, which is more focused on the qualitative side, not quantitative. For example, the analysis of their CV, their trajectory, if important collections have works by those artists, exhibition history, and so on. But we can leave this topic for another session. If you're an artist, a collector, or a business owner and you want to be part of the art market, please visit reginafavela.com for more information. My name is Regina Favela. I'm an art advisor and curator.